Welcome to the Discover Universal podcast. Keep your hands and feet inside the vehicle. And watch your step on the moving walkway because we're taking you park to park to prepare you for your next visit. Let's Discover Universal.
Welcome to the Discover Universal podcast. I'm Kari, and my favorite escape experiences include teeth and claws.
And I'm David, and we gotta go back to Universal's great movie Escape.
And do it again.
Yes, and again and again.
That's right.
I can't wait, guys. This is a brand new experience debuting at Universal Orlando's City Walk, Universal's great movie Escape.
I am speechless because I don't know how I can properly articulate my excitement for this.
When we found out that Universal was bringing their creative talents, creative force to creating an escape experience, the imagination ran wild.
Yeah, and featuring the franchises that we love.
Yes.
Okay.
If you didn't tell from the intro, that includes Back to the Future and the Jurassic World franchise as well.
Oh, I can't wait. And we are able to sit down today with two of the creators, TJ and Nate, to get their take on things and let you know how this thing's going to shape up.
We're going to learn all about it. I don't know anything about this, so I'm really excited to actually, for the first time, hear what we can expect from this brand new experience.
All we know is it exists. So we're going to get into
the
nitty-gritty. And we're going to do it probably time and time again. So let's jump into this interview and let you know everything about Universal's great movie, Escape.
Today is a very exciting day. We're so excited that Universal Orlando is bringing its own escape adventure to our City Walk here.
To Universal City Walk.
It's so exciting. And so today we are joined by two of the creative team who helped bring this incredible experience to life. Guys, why don't you introduce yourselves for our listeners?
I'm TJ Manarino. I'm the Vice President for Entertainment, Art, and Design. So I work with the Creative and Design Group for all the live shows.
And I'm Nate Stevenson. I'm a show director over at the Creative Development Group under Art and Design. And I'm show director for this particular experience.
I love this. Nate and I worked together for several years at a attraction that still exists. And I was trained by you. So it's really cool to see you jumping into this role. That's so awesome.
Awesome. Yeah. It's been exciting.
It's great.
Hey, Nate and I also worked at an attraction together.
Yeah. I worked at a lot of attractions.
That's right. We know TJ
I'm working right now. So, hey, this is awesome, too.
All right. We got our introductions done. I want to know about this thing. Okay, so we are talking about Universal's great movie Escape. It's happening.
It's happening.
What can we expect? Nate, I got to know.
So we are calling it an escape adventure. That is on purpose because escape room just doesn't really paint the correct picture of it. There's numerous rooms within the one experience. And there's two separate stories. So one is based in the world of Back to the Future, and the other is based in the world of Jurassic World. So with the Jurassic World experience, you are playing the part of a newly promoted employee to an off-site kind of secret genetics lab at Jurassic World. So what's really cool is this runs in tandem with the first Jurassic World movie when everything went wrong and the Indominus escaped. So
I was going to say, generally things don't end well for employees of Jurassic World.
Yeah, if we've learned anything from that franchise.
But it's going to be great. This one's going to work out.
Yeah, observant and true. And that is true. It doesn't go well. It's going to start off like what's kind of neat is we have a couple folks that are taking you through the experience. So in the Jurassic World, it's a geneticist named Riley. She introduces herself. She's kind of been there for a while. She knows the ropes. She's there to kind of teach you the equipment and let you know how everything works. And she's going to be reporting your results back to Dr. Wu. So it's your first day. You're kind of trying to impress. And that's your setup. That kind of gets us into the challenges and whatnot of each room because you're just working on the equipment and kind of working with genetics. Of course, a couple of rooms in, things start to go very wrong. The power's starting to fluctuate, and we find out the Indominus Rex has escaped and is starting to wreak havoc. And so then it's pretty cool. You're going to go through and kind of try to bring everything back online, try to help out the park, and help out guests and things like that, and also save yourself in the end. So it gets very exciting. What's neat about these experiences is that there's full story. We have a beginning, middle, and end, and really cool climactic moments. And so it's very story driven, which is why we kind of call it an escape adventure. And then in each one of these environments that we put you in, you get to we do what are called like challenges, but we don't call them challenges. They're kind of part of the story. So you're just going about your day, and these are the things that come up. So it's really neat. Any of what you would call challenges are actually within the story, so it just kind of flows well that way. And then we have Back to the Future. With Back to the Future, we are going to show up, and the gal who's taking you through that is named Nico, and she is kind of the Doc's new sidekick. And awesome. She shows up, and there's a grand opening of a museum, and you're just a guest at the grand opening of a new museum. And this is what's kind of cool. It's at the Institute of Future Technology. So nice. Yeah. So we went all the way back to the old days, and we're bringing the Institute back a little bit. So you show up to the Institute of Future Technology. This is just a new wing honoring the Doc. And then obviously, Biff Tannen shows up and things go wrong.
Always.
And he starts, jumping through time and messing things up. And you're recruited to jump through time and try to fix the things that he's messing up along the way and fix the space-time continuum, so same as it ever was.
My inner Universal nerd is freaking out right now.
Oh, absolutely.
It's building on the lore that we love and grew up with and like expanding upon it. I'm beside myself. I can't wait.
Talk about two amazing stories that I would 100% want to jump into the world of and get to like play around in the world of. That's so cool.
The thing that also makes this, I think, so different than what maybe our guests are used to in this type of environment is these are fully immersive show experiences like you would have in any type of attraction here in our parks. So from the theatrical aspects, from lighting to sounds to the movie scores. Again, place yourself in these places and hear the great music from Jurassic World or Back to the Future, and suddenly you're in that place. And we've created it as an experience that now you get a chance to be a part of those stories in an integral place and time that actually takes you through this kind of fun journey. It's amazing.
So let's talk about that because like Kari and I, we said we're huge escape room fans.
Yes.
This is 100% on my dream wish list before it was ever announced. Like as soon as it was announced, I was like, yes, that makes so much sense. That's so awesome. This incredible setup, this interactive experience, but with the creative force of our major world-class theme park that we have here at Universal Orlando. So maybe you could talk us through like how did this thing come about? Like what was the creative process behind this?
Well, the crazy thing is that it started about 5-6 years ago.
Wow.
So it's been in our kind of interesting.
Good at keeping secrets.
Oh yeah, but it has been. It's been something that we've been exploring. Definitely, again, I think the wonderful thing about Universal and the product that we produce is how do we keep looking at more and advanced ways to bring our audience into our stories. And this was something that we've been exploring for some time. And what is the right way to do that? What's the best way to do that? And where's the best place to do that? Again, it's bounced around a little bit. It landed actually about 2 years ago now. Here in Orlando to be a part of our City Walk. And so we've been in development for almost 2 years now to bring these experiences to life. And it's been about the exploration. I said over the 5 years of development, we've explored lots of different things that are out there in the market. We've talked to a lot of different people about what is new, what is different, what is the right place for us to create an experience that really has not been seen anyplace else. And those are the things that we landed on when we started the development. And then that's when we brought Nate on to say, okay, here's these wonderful 2 stories. Here's this great experience that we want to take our guests that nobody's been before. How do we do that? And out of his crazy mind, this has happened. And it's amazing, again, because the intricacy of how these experiences happen and they actually function for our guests is uniquely different because there's a high level of technology behind it. And that's a little bit of probably why it's taken us this long to get here is, again, technology, it keeps advancing. And we keep, as story designers, and the way to work with our audience, especially when you give the audience a part of your show and allow them to kind of control really the outcome, there's a lot of results. Mm-hmm. How do you manage those results to get the best experience for both the guest and for us as the show designers? And this has been something that technology is each year gets a little bit easier to kind of help you manage that. And that's been what's been the beauty of it, is that technology now really with these great brands really have come together to be kind of this, like I said, this seamless story that Nate has already told us a little bit about, but also an experience that really evolves over your time in the hour that you're with these different brands. And that was even a simple thing we talked about. When we first started this project, we said, you never spend an hour in any attraction in any of the parks, anywhere, with one brand. You maybe get 10 minutes, maybe, depending on how much the ride attraction's length is experienced. So to actually have a full hour of story with characters, with environments is really going to be something that the guests haven't seen.
I think they're going to eat it up for sure.
Yeah.
I'd spend 10 hours. I'm going to do it 10 times in a
There
row.
you go.
Okay? I'm ready.
And here's the thing.
Since you are.
And there he goes. And
That
he'll
brings
say
us to another fun point.
Yeah.
So we added different scenarios for every single room. So talking about that big computer brain and that technology running everything. Essentially, if you came in and you're playing the challenge, and the last time it was A, B, D, C, or something like that. Well, when you come in the next time and you go, oh, I remember this. It's A, B, D, C. Actually, no. Now it's B, C, D, A. So there's a lot of different changes like that happen, and there's about 4 or 5 different scenarios in every single room. So it should feel like when you go in that you're getting, and to that point, even different story points. For instance, different dinosaurs will show up than showed up before. You'll be figuring out or creating new things that you weren't creating before. And so it's really exciting in that sense. So we have different scenarios. This is something that fully makes us stand out.
So smart.
Yeah. So we were faced with this challenge when we were sitting there in the beginning. We said, well, this has got to be good. It's got to be awesome for people who've been in the park all day, but they want to come do this experience and be a part of this IP or whatever. And so we came up with this idea that there's this kind of baseline challenge that's hopefully most people can get through, and we can obviously help people get through so that they can experience the entire thing and also feel like they've achieved something, you know what I mean, to get through it. So every single room has leveled challenges in it as well. So this is very different than any other escape room or escape experience that I've seen out there, where once you've figured out the challenge, you figure it out and then you go on.
Yeah.
Well, this one, you'll actually unlock other parts of story and other parts of video, and sometimes unlock other challenges in the room that if you weren't achieving those levels, you would never know existed and you wouldn't see. So they're going to be challenged. And another thing with the level challenges is they get harder as they go. And so they'll be wanting to, they'll want to find out, okay, what's the top thing in this room? I want to knock every single one of them out. That's what me and TJ would want anyway. We would go over and over again, like you said, just so we could go, we did it all,
This is giving me Men in Black Alien Attack vibes because I have to get the high, I want to max out the high score at some point, which means I have to keep
going back.
Writing.
I didn't see everything.
Exactly.
Yes.
Find that missing target that you missed last time. That is genius, and that's totally different than any other escape experience that I've ever had.
Yeah.
Totally unique.
It's so cool to hear because, I mean, obviously we've known about this experience since it was announced, and like the imagination starts turning, and it's like, yes, of course it's going to be amazingly designed. Yes, it's going to be in the world of these amazing properties.
Nostalgic characters and franchises that you know that you love.
But to hear that you've even put a twist on the experience itself is like so exciting.
Well,
that's really cool.
It's interesting because, again, it's also a strategic in the group that was asked to bring this to life. It leaned on the entertainment team that produces Halloween Horror Nights. And a lot of that was for a few different reasons. One was about taking that live aspect of how guests interact within an environment that really is on the guest's control. And how does the space can change and alter with the guest's actions in that space. And that's what this space is able to do. So that's, again, the learnings that we have over our 30 years of doing Halloween was applied to a different type of model, which is that interactive, kind of live theater experience. But how does it also change to provide the best guest experience by what the guests are doing in the space in real time? And the technology is able to help the show aspect, the way it's been designed and created, do those things too. So, and then the last piece really becomes, we leaned on our set design. If anybody's been to Halloween, they really kind of applauded that, the level of detail and immersion in our environments. And that's what we said. What can we do to also take these places so you feel like you really are part of Jurassic and you really feel like the world that takes you into Back to the Future?
And you had mentioned you'd team with the creators as well, right? The filmmakers.
Yeah, it's been awesome. We've had the chance to collaborate with the filmmakers, not only our group out in California, but all the way up through the filmmakers of both franchises, and they've had input. They've read the scripts, they've watched watched the different things that we've put together, the different content pieces and things like that, and they've been able to suggest things and be a part of the creative process too. And it's been really neat.
It's been amazing. It's been fun to watch how they have also accepted this kind of new medium. Because again, for them, they've also produced these stories and these characters through different types of aspects. But to be part of this type of new interactive is that they were like amazed. I think sounds fantastic, and so we're hoping that they'll be as proud as we are because we're excited about it.
I got to know some like nuts and bolts questions. So as a guest, if I'm coming in, is this something like? I'm assuming it's a separate ticketed experience.
Yes.
Yes? Okay. So I'm coming in. Is this something that I want to build on to the end of my day in the parks? Is this something that I want to take a separate day out of my vacation to set aside to do this experience? I mean, how are they going to experience this?
I'll be honest with you. I think it fits best into your schedule, for the day, because one, it's centrally located since it's at City Walk.
Yeah.
That's great because if you're coming or going, you could put it as part of your daily schedule. It could be part of a lunchtime experience because, again, it's an hour. So it basically is very much regimented that you buy a slot in the time basically. So right now we're doing 15-minute entries. So every 15 minutes you have an opportunity to experience this type of new attraction. And in that hour time frame, you get the full experience from beginning to end for either the Jurassic World or the Back to the Future. So each are separate. Each are priced separately, so they're the same prices, but basically you pay for each one.
Okay.
But yes, it becomes something, and then it's up to as many as 8 people in your party can do it.
Very cool.
Okay.
But yeah, it's like I said, it's built to definitely play as a group.
Right.
As much as you might want to do it by yourself, we encourage people to do it by a group because the way it was designed and all the Nate wonderful creative work on it is built around doing things together as a team to actually access and provide more of those new types of fun activities within the story.
Now, I will jump on that and say also, like, if you did, we want to go catch this for the hour, and you could do it like at lunch or something like that. But you could also make a night of it. I would say that, like, if you're like, hey, we need something to do this evening, you could maybe come have dinner or something out here, and then there are going to be 2 bars there.
That was going to be my next question.
Yeah. There's going to be a lobby. Then there'll be playing different things on the screen and stuff. So it's a space that people can hang out in and kind of have fun in, and then bouncing over to each one when it's your time, and just see the whole thing. So you could also make a whole night of it. I think just at the one building.
Well,
sure.
we've found actually for this style of experience, and since you guys have experienced this style before, is there's this big need and want is that after you've done this as a group, you want to talk about it.
Oh my gosh.
And to have a place to do that was very important to us. And then when we sat down to set the parameters up is that what do we need to do to make these experiences unique, but what is the right venue to provide for our guests? And that is to be able to have a space that you could come before, get a chance to get excited about what the experience is, but to definitely be able to have some time afterwards with the team that you did, talk about all the fun things you did, laugh about each other. Oh, you couldn't get that, and I saw you over
Yell
there.
at each other.
Oh, yes, exactly.
You didn't do the thing that you were supposed to do.
Oh, I know. Yes.
What was that puzzle?
We do that.
I don't even know what happened.
I don't know.
I don't even know what you guys did.
So, and those are the things that we've seen is that really kind of enriches the environment and definitely makes it be something that you want to share with people afterwards, even though your group, kind of had the fun. But when you want to talk about it later, or 2 days later, 3 days later, and that's our goal, is to be able to get you so excited that you want to come back and bring others with you so you can kind of yell at them when they're in the room, like, you didn't get this done.
There you go. But don't talk about it too loud because you can't let the secrets out.
You don't want to spoil it.
Yeah.
So speaking of, I guess let's dance around things that are in the room because we don't want to spoil it. But as big escape experience fans, like, what are your favorite aspects of an escape experience, an escape room, and maybe generally no spoilers, maybe what are some of your favorite elements in the rooms that we've created here?
Well, for me, pretty much anything creative starts with story because I'm a storyteller. So that's just kind of part of it. You know what I mean? So for me, when I've gone to other escape rooms or escape experiences, and they, this is kind of a new idea of kind of putting things to a story and actually having the challenges live within the story and things like that. And we certainly capitalize on that with ours. But I think that's what I would be most excited about as a guest coming in is that we get to go not only into these iconic worlds that have existed, really all the way back since like the 80s and 90s, but when we get to live in those places, but that we actually, the story is, or I should say the challenges are all within and interwoven into the story. So it feels like you're just having an experience and the challenges have to do with that. And that always spoke to me with other experiences that I've done, whenever they were more story based and weren't just like stick you in a room and like, good luck, see if you can get out. I'm like, I hate math.
Who has a calculator?
That kind of stuff kind of takes you out of it.
Yeah.
And for me, I really like the story aspect of it, of course, because that's like my thing,
Yeah.
But that really, I think, is going to be awesome for our guest, is that you might get all the way through the experience and be like, wait, did we do challenges or did we just, were we just part of the experience?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's pretty neat.
The thing that I'm excited about was because of the ability for us to kind of really alter the experience, we can adjust to your group size. So if you come with two people or
cool.
3 people, we can alter the activities that you're playing to the right number of guests in your party. So that's also fun because I've been in experiences where if it's so driven as a singular type of task that you have to accomplish, the rest of the team there is kind of standing there kind of watching one person do it. And that starts to become a little bit not only boring, but also kind of a little, you feel a little kind of like, oh, I'm left out. And that's the one thing that when we strive for, we said, when we sit this down, how do we make sure the whole group, depending what size it is, has the activity and everybody has a chance to help solve or create the kind of the steps that you have to get to the next space.
We've been in situations, because David and I like to do rooms to just the two of us together. We've been in situations
Ultimate
that like,
challenge.
we needed like 5 people to do this thing.
Stretching
There's
across the room. Stretch
4
your arm and
hands.
leg across the room.
Yeah. So that's so smart that it's customizable. The whole thing is customizable.
Yeah.
That's great.
So hopefully this isn't getting too in the weeds, but like, what is like kind of the back end of this look like? Like, for example, if you do need help, is this all technology based? Like,
It's a massive wires. Oh my God! There's a room.
What it looks like
bigger
is
than this room
spaghetti.
right now. Like, no. And like I said, we're talking to the 2 people here. Like, I like to do math, and I still go, what the heck is that thing? But yeah, no, it is amazing the amount of technology. But yeah, the system is set up, and we're going to do a fair amount, and we'll have done a lot of testing to actually set the right parameters. But the ability is that it actually flows on kind of a timeline schedule. It's understanding how you're doing, what you're doing in the room, because it's able to kind of follow your actions. And by that, it's able to then to adjust and make maneuvers. Now, we do have live people. Yes, it's not just all computer-based. This is not, Skynet. But
I was going to say, the
Although
room has
very
become
on-brand.
sentient.
Yet.
Right.
Yes, right. The reality is that we do have actually operators that are in the space. They're kind of monitoring the flow. So if there is something that gets kind of a little bit past our timelines, they could jump in. They can actually help provide you. But the thing that's crazy, Nate has had to write the full story to provide all of the type of clues, hints, or any type of things to give you directional stuff. So if you're kind of falling behind, he's able to have provided all of the type of stuff in story, in character, all of the points that get you to your next step. So yeah, it's amazing how much.
From the trauma of the guy at the place going, "You're doing it wrong." We were like, okay, if somebody's gonna come help, it's gonna be Riley or Nico.
Yes.
Or Ace. We have another kind of cool thing, like a computer AI system, which is pretty neat.
Very cool.
But yeah, it's going to be something in story that comes in and helps you that would naturally help you in that space.
See, that's why research and development is very important, even from a trauma perspective.
Yes.
It helps you make it better.
Yeah, but if you guys saw the script for this thing, it's insane. It's hard to read because
How high is the stack?
It's just it's because you have to do your normal story. Then we start doing what was called contingencies, and at first it started out like, well, if they get this part but don't get this part, then this is the way the story goes. Kind of like TJ was saying. But then we were like, okay, but then we got to help them out in the room. And so as we're going, we're like contingency 34.
Oh my gosh. The 34th version of the story.
Yeah. So there's but what's neat? It's a lot of work up front, right? But what's really neat about that is that I feel like you will be able, if we accomplish what we meant to accomplish, you'll go into these spaces, and every time you do it, it'll be at least a little bit different, if not a lot different. And you'll be like, wow, that was a completely different thing than I had last time. Or, oh, we unlocked two extra challenges that we didn't even know were there, or this part of the story. And it even goes the other way sometimes. If you're not getting it, they'll come in and be like, first day jitters. Looks like maybe you need a little help, huh? So
Did we get the Indominus back? What happened? Oh, no.
So yeah, we've had to think through every single thing we could, and the script is quite hefty.
I love that. I think, to translate through the guest experience, like, even if you're not super experienced in escape rooms, like, don't be intimidated. It sounds like it's a experience that's very welcoming to all experience levels, all ability types. Like, don't be afraid to jump in and try this thing out, because it sounds incredible. Yeah.
That said, what are some tips that you would have for guests that are ready to jump into this thing?
I think, the best thing for these type of experiences, and definitely it will be seen in ours, which is everything is don't be afraid. It's probably the biggest first one, is that, it's been set up for you to basically help you intuitively learn, discover, kind of, search out elements within the room. At the same time, this has a lot more narrative to it. So we actually kind of give you a lot more helpful hints of, here, how about this? Let's do this. We want to do that. So that's something that's a little bit more different too. Lord, if you've been to some other experiences that give you no information and you kind of feel like, what am I supposed to do? Yeah. This helps give you that, because again, it puts you on a path and it takes you down the road. So I think come with a fun attitude. Like I said, you don't have to know anything, even if you don't know the brands. That's something that when we first started, we sat down going, there's going to be an audience who have never seen Back to the Future or any of the films. And the story takes you through a little bit of those points that you have to know to help you along your way. But we provide you all that up front too. So again, I think come having fun, bring a great group with you. And then, like I said, maybe have a drink or two.
Good call.
There we go.
That'd be my suggestion.
Yeah, I would just say get a group of friends. You know what I mean? That's really, I would say that about any escape experience. It's just get a group of friends. It's so much fun to have. It's not fun if you go to one where there's only one thing in the room and everybody's standing around and waiting. But ours is not that way. There's plenty for everybody to do, and it really is going to be more fun if you get a whole group together who wants to come and have a good time and play. So get a group of people. And come together and make a night of it and just really kind of enjoy the space. And also, I would say, don't forget to enjoy the lobby. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, leave some time, because there's some neat stuff going on just in that area, and a lot of cool drinks and a lot of neat stuff to experience that way. So I'd make a night of it. That would be my biggest suggestion. The more people you have, the more likely you are to get through to the higher levels of challenge and unlock more of that story. So.
That just made me think, is there like a suggested age range for this, or?
Oh, yeah, good call.
Not really. Like I said, we've designed it to a level that kind of fits our guest in our park. Okay. So I don't think there really is anything.
So
there is
family friendly.
Yeah. Like I said, like anything, there's probably a little bit more of intensity in some areas, but not to the level that we would be concerned for some of the younger guests.
Great.
Very cool.
Okay, last question. Jurassic World or Back to the Future?
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh, my. I'll look to Nate to answer that one.
Oh, come on. Throw me to the wolves.
Pick a favorite.
I got to answer that in like the most PC way, because sometimes, or a lot of times, people will get to work on something that's IP-based, intellectual property. When we say IP, we mean intellectual property, by the way. Sorry that I'm just going straight to the IP thing. But yeah, when you get to work on an intellectual property, a film that's been out there, or a franchise of some kind, you tend to go, this is my favorite thing ever. And that's, I've been so lucky and you'll just talk about it because you want to talk it up. But I can honestly, truly say that these are two of my favorite trilogies of all time. Yeah. And I don't want to put one over the other, but Back to the Future, just because of nostalgia and how young I was when I saw it and what it meant to me in the theater, is my favorite trilogy of all time. Oh, so, I mean, for me, this is just a dream.
That's so cool that you get to work. Oh, that kind of made me teary. That's really sweet.
I'm a little teary.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Can't help it.
Yeah.
And
awesome.
I know that passion is going to come through in the experience. I mean,
oh yeah,
this was created by people who love this stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and it's been seen across all of the team, from the creative team to the technical design teams to the scenic, everybody has a fan of these films. And every aspect as we've been creating, you can see that kind of smile come across their face as they look at a picture of something or they hear a sound of a recording, of the experience, and they kind of go, "Oh yeah, I remember." Yeah, everybody feels like they're back in those times watching those films. So again, we're so excited about being able to provide this style with these great films to our audience for people who have loved them all their life, or people who, again, like you said, who have never seen them and has now become a new fan to them. So yeah, it's going to be exciting. We're so happy to be able to have the opportunity to do this. And again, when we talk to the filmmakers, to be able to kind of be that next phase of this unique story and this new style of experience is something that I think the guests are going to love. And like I said, we've been loving it, and we just can't wait to give it to them.
We can't wait to do it.
Yes!
I cannot wait.
We're going to make a night of it.
I cannot wait.
We're taking the
So
tip.
excited.
TJ, Nate, thank you so much for joining us, and best of luck. I mean, this is a big deal. We are ready. We're ready to do this.
We're going to be in the lobby. I want to hear how you do and which one.
I can't wait. We'll be the ones yelling at each other. Can't miss us.
I just want to be the guy that's standing there when you get out where I'm like, yeah, but did you unlock this challenge?
And we'll be like, we gotta go again. Let's do it.
We gotta go back. We gotta go back.
We gotta go back. Thanks again for the interview, guys.
What an amazing interview. Legitimately, I did not expect to learn so much about this experience.
Yeah.
The fact that they're sort of reinventing the genre, the escape experience.
I don't know if I'm ready.
Maybe I should have expected that.
Yeah,
that Universal Orlando was going to come with something really cool.
That's what they do. That's what they do.
I can't wait.
This is going to be nuts.
Yeah.
We are going to spend so much time at Universal City Walk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and my favorite thing, so after the interview, they were saying we might be able to go try it out soon, which is exciting.
Yes, okay. Yes.
And we're getting an amazing escape experience. And also, they're throwing in a super cool themed bar and lounge, too.
David, you and I could go after we have a
First thing in the
shift.
morning.
No. But for our friends,
I'll see you there at 10 a.m.
For our friends that are 21 and up, I am excited for the themed bar over there.
All right. Well, guys, we'll see you over at Universal's great movie, Escape.
To learn more about Universal Parks and Resorts, head to our show notes for links to our Discover Universal blog for a more in-depth look around our destination. While you're there, sign up to receive emails that will include articles, videos, and this podcast delivered right to your inbox to prepare for your next vacation. If you liked what you heard, leave us a review and don't forget to subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts.